Welcome to another video and thank you for joining again. If you're new, a warm welcome to you too. The purpose of this video today is to introduce you to BR Nail Talk. It's a Facebook group that I've joined. They're also a group by Blue Rose Nail Studio. The owner of the page is Crystal, who has taken the initiative to create a card game. And if you want to belong to this Facebook page group, you can decide to join in and then take part in the challenge that we get every week. I will just explain the game to you as we go along and explain to you what I've been doing, and I'll be sharing the challenges with you. Like for this week, we had to work with a stiletto medium nail, and because I only had a coffin, the challenge was to try and shape it into a stiletto medium nail, which is a good thing because it will teach you how to shape a nail. And it might be the first time that I had to try it. So I just cut it and then I tried to shape it in the right form. And as you might know, there might be a number on the tip that indicates the size of the tip that you would normally cut off to when you do your shaping. But in this instance I decided to leave it as nobody's going to really wear the set. So I just try to smooth it out and try and get the right shape. The card game that Crystal has created has got 4 categories. The first one would be color, the next one the theme, the third one the shape, and then the fourth one the product. And then you had to try and create your design around that and to try and stay as close as possible. But you are allowed to use other products that you've got, or try and replace a product that you don't really have. She's allowing us not to be too strict, or there's not really strict rules, but you need to try and create it as close as possible by using the colors and everything else that was chosen for the week. So for this week the color that we had to use was light purple. The shape of the nail is stiletto medium. The theme was pop art. And the product that we had to use was ink. So for the purpose of this video to share with you, I'm just going to do 2 nails, just to show you how I went about creating it. Yesterday when I did the actual design, I wasn't confident enough to record it, but I thought to do it today just to show you how I went about it. I just think it's a great initiative because it will push our boundaries and it will challenge us to get out of our comfort zones, to do only what we know or can do, and at the same time we learn some new techniques, or we get forced to do some shaping, or just to try and use your initiative to try and design something according to what was given for the week. We are already on week 4 for this week, and it's just great to see what the other ladies has been creating on the group. It's interesting to see and it's just fun, and I'm looking forward to it every week. And it has been great to see what the other members of the group has come up with. And it's just great to see what kind of support is given to one another. I would normally start off by putting a base coat on the nail, but seeing that this is only for demo purposes, I just start applying my base color. We're going to do 2 colors or 2 coats, and then cure it for 30 seconds after each coat. And as you know, white and black is two difficult colors to work with, because you need to only apply a thin layer and cure it properly before you apply the second layer. Otherwise it might not cure properly. And once the second layer has been cured for 60 seconds, I just clean the inhibition layer with some alcohol. It's just to get rid of the sticky layer on top of it. And once you've cured your base coat or main color, you will be able to see where you still need to smooth it out a bit. Just by smoothing it out and file a bit. When I normally work with art inks, I would use blooming gel to put on top of the layer. But in this case, blooming gel is not part of the challenge. In this instance, I've just applied a matte top coat and cured that for 60 seconds. So that the surface is not too shiny, because then the ink will go down the sides. So I prefer to work on a matte top coat when applying the inks. And then the next challenge was to try and create the light purple color that we need to use. So you will just see me playing around with the colors. On camera it looks a bit pinkish, but I did manage to get it to the purple color. Maybe not quite, because it's more pinkish than purple, but I tried. So I just combined the pink and the blue to try and create the purple. And then I also used another green color just to bring in a second color, as it's difficult to only work with one color sometimes. And then I've got this bottle that I bought previously, where I've just put in some alcohol that we're also going to use once we've applied our inks, just to try and create some design or get a nice effect. And then I decided just to work with a fine brush, as you don't have too big of a canvas to work with and the ink spreads quite well. So I only try to apply a little bit at a time. Then I just started applying the ink randomly. There's no rhyme or reason. You can just play around and have fun with it. I was trying to keep some of the white background. It wasn't quite successful at the end, because the ink spreads quite well. I would also apply some alcohol on the ink to try and give it a certain effect or play around with it. And at times I would also turn around the tip, just to get the ink to flow to the sides or give a certain effect, because it is quite runny. And then I did apply the second color of the ink here and there, although it wasn't really noticeable at the ends, the way the ink was spreading. I was just having fun and playing. You can just keep on adding your inks and alcohol till you're satisfied with what you've got, or when you're happy with your design. And you will see that I've been doing the mixing in a palette so I don't contaminate my colors. And then I would wipe my brush in between. And then we're just going to do the same for the second nail. Just by placing the ink and the alcohol every which way that you like. And just play around till you get the right effect or when you're happy with your design. If you've been enjoying what you're seeing or enjoying watching, and if you like, please consider subscribing. It would be nice to have you on my channel. And it would also be great if you can maybe consider joining BR Nail Talk and then participate in our weekly game, which is great fun. Once I'm happy with the placement of my inks, I leave it to dry. I would also put it in the lamp for 30 seconds. Because if you apply the top coat, it might smudge or might cause a problem with your design. I know you get the type of top coat that you can use. That won't smear your design, which I don't have currently. So I just make sure that my colors are dry and the ink is dry before I apply my no white top coat. And once I've applied my top coat and I'm happy with the design, I'm just going to apply the top coat and then cure it for 60 seconds before we carry on with our design. And in order to get to our theme for the week, which is pop art, I'm not very good in drawing anything with any brush. So this is where I'm bending the rules a bit by using some stamping to get an image on the nail. And then I try to look for images that is close to pop art as can be. Show you the plates, or share with you the plates that I've used yesterday with the images. I have taken out quite a variety of stamping plates to try and find some images that would be close to the theme as possible. And I'm just trying to show you what I've used. Then I've just decided on this plate again to try and find some images that we can use. And although our nail has been cured after the top coat, I'm just wiping any that there might be any stickiness on it or any sticky residue before we're going to apply our images. if you want to try and apply a second image to the nail, it would be safe to top coat the first image that you've already have on, so it doesn't create a problem. Because if you do make a mistake, you can just wipe it off and redo it. And then I'm just cleaning my plate with pure acetone. I would yet again cure my stamping polish just to make sure that the stamping polish is dry before we go ahead and add our top coat. And then I'm applying one layer of no wipe top coat, and I'm going to cure that for 60 seconds. And then I just make sure to cover all areas. And then our design would be done or completed. It was great fun putting together this content for you and sharing my design with you. And I really hope that you would consider joining us on BR Nail Talk on Facebook, and then take part in our card game every week, which is fun to do. I hope you enjoyed what I had to share. And thank you for taking the time. Keep well. Till next time. Bye bye.